This is the fall marketing plan that I used with my client last year who saw over 500% revenue growth in just 90 days. Fall is the busiest and most lucrative time for creators who teach. And so today I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step plan that you can use this fall so that you can fast track your sales growth. My name is Kyle and I run a growth marketing agency helping creators who teach build and grow sustainable businesses. Step one of the marketing plan is to launch a new product or offer in the fall, preferably September or October. This could be a new digital product, a new course, a new membership, a new community, whatever it may be. What you want to do ideally is launch it in September and October to allow enough breathing room before Black Friday. So my first tip and recommendation, I typically allow at least 30 days between promotions. I could do a whole separate video on my approach to marketing and promoting a new course, but today I'll just give you a few tips. The first thing you want to do is run it for 2 to 3 weeks. I like to do a slightly longer promotion period than maybe what other creators that you've seen do. And that's because I want to capture as much of your organic traffic that you have coming in today as possible and introduce them to this new offer at this great new price. And so allow for a 2 to 3 week marketing window. Build a sticky banner across your site promoting the sale. So this is that little thin banner that goes across the top above your navigation, and it highlights the offer. It could be very transactional, highlighting the offer and the sale, and make sure it's clickable. Do a homepage hero takeover. This is when you actually change the main section of your homepage, so your first section in your homepage, to a promotion banner that's highlighting the course or product that you're launching. So this should feature a custom graphic, some value prop messaging highlighting the course or the offer and its main kind of transformation benefit to your target audience, and a clear CTA. I do that because 9 times out of 10, your homepage is your highest traffic page. And so we want your organic audience to see this new offer and then send them to the sales page. So a recap of the course launch, have the promotion end at least a month before Black Friday, run it for 2 to 3 weeks to capture as much of your organic traffic as you can, add a sticky nav across your site so that anyone that lands on any page knows about your offer or your new product, and do a homepage hero takeover. Oh, and if you're struggling to put together your course sales page or your digital product sales page, check out my link in the description. I have a free wireframe for you that I use for all of my clients who are launching new courses. Step number 2, run a Black Friday sale that stands out. Now you're probably telling me that's impossible. There's so much noise in Black Friday. You don't want to do a sale because everyone does a sale. There's so much fatigue. And I agree with all that. There are tons of sales. There's so much marketing happening on Black Friday, but the reason it's happening is because it's effective. And what I always tell my clients is we don't have to be overly salesy. We don't have to develop a 10 email Black Friday campaign and just blast the audience because that will lead to fatigue. You're giving up a lot of your brand equity that you've built with your audience. And so we don't want to do that. But I think there's an effective tactical way to run a Black Friday sale in a way that connects with your audience and meets them where they're at. That's kind of my number one recommendation for my clients for Black Friday is meet your audience where you're at. And at the end of the day, even though there's so much promotion going on Black Friday, people are expecting deals. Your audience is expecting a deal from you. And so what we want to do is tap into that intent, tap into the buyer behavior, and give them an amazing deal. There are some things that you can implement and differentiate yourself from the noise that is Black Friday. So number 1 is make your promotion story-driven. Of course, we want to highlight a deal. Of course, we want to give people a good offer. But at the end of the day, make it tied to your personal story, your journey, how your products solve your pain point or how it solves your audience's pain point in a very narrative-based way. We still want to highlight the offer. We still want to have CTAs in our emails, but we can still tell a story along the way. Number 2 is kind of tied to number 1. We want to frame the story and narrative as a transformation. We want to really highlight the transformation, the outcome that your audience is going to see when they use your product or take your course or sign up to your membership. And so we really want to focus that story narrative-based messaging in a way that highlights the transformation that people will get. Number 3, send a final hours email. Add urgency across your site. Now, again, you're probably telling me you see these all the time. It's so noisy. These aren't effective. Trust me, they are effective. They are the most effective emails in any campaign that I have ever run in my entire career. Final hours, last chance emails, 24 hours left. They're tapping into that buyer urgency, and that will always get people to get off the couch and make the purchase. You should also change out your banners and your messaging across your other CTAs on the site, etc., in your social posts, in your link in bio, and highlight final hours or last chance. Just so, again, people know that this sale is ending. They have FOMO. They don't want to miss out. So this is really effective messaging. So to recap Black Friday, narrative-based emails, focus on the transformation, and implement some final hours and urgency language across your marketing touchpoints to really stand out and have a super effective Black Friday campaign. The last marketing campaign that I see most creators forget about is the January campaign. Most creators come to me and they say, well, we got the holiday season. I'm going away for 2 weeks. My audience is on holidays. They're not focused on January. They have credit card debt going into January. They don't want to buy anything. And this couldn't be further from the truth. When I was at Skillshare for over 6 years running growth marketing, January was always our biggest sales month. We always saw 2x the amount of traffic in January than we do in other months. It would always be the highest converting month. So I always encourage my clients to run a month-long campaign focused on that new year, new you messaging that people are looking for. So here are my January tips. First, apply all of the learnings you have from your previous 2 campaigns. That's the thing that most creators miss. You've just launched maybe 10 emails across these 2 other campaigns. Go look at the data from those emails and see which ones are highest converting, which ones had the highest amount of click-through rate, which subject lines had the highest open rates, and apply those learnings to your January campaign. Look at your landing pages. What did you change with your landing pages and which ones performed better? Let's apply the best practices from your landing pages, your marketing messaging, etc., to a January campaign. But my tips for January, beyond leveraging your insights and data from the previous campaigns and all the best practices from the previous campaigns, is to focus on the transformation. What is the new skill or new thing that people are going to learn from your product or your offer or your course? And what's the outcome they're going to achieve? Focus on that. Because again, people are primed to learn new things. They want to have these new goals. They want to skill build in January. And so we want to meet them where they're at. And we want to help them achieve that in January. I think that's the other kind of tip, is people want to walk away with some outcome or some achievement by the end of January. And so if we can help make that happen, that's going to lead to a longer term buyer over the long term. So my recommendation is to try to come up with a creative way to apply some kind of challenge or structured learning experience in January so they can walk away with an outcome. It might be to break up the course or the digital product in a way that they're tackling bite-sized chunks throughout the month of January. It might be that your course is just too long. Maybe it's a 10-week course. Have some big milestone midway through so that they can walk away in January with having learned a new skill or having achieved something that keeps them motivated beyond January. That's my 3-step fall marketing plan that always leads to significant revenue growth for each of my clients. Launch a new product in September or October, layer on a Black Friday campaign that stands out, that's narrative-based and story-based, and tack on a month-long January plan that meets people where they're at and taps into that seasonal New Year January demand that's so present. So like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.